Good morning, peoples. November the 10th. Yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. This is not Photoshop. I'm wearing a shirt. It was 60 degrees, aka 20 or 21 degrees Celsius, 60 degrees Fahrenheit this morning when I woke up. So not only have I got the shirt, it's a cool shirt though. It's a pie shirt. That elephant, that's me. I'm the big elephant, and that's my girlfriend, the little baby elephant. And not only that, but I've also stepped up my game to my go Georgia Bulldogs. Yeah, I know they lost to Florida, but they're still my team. So I got the long-legged PJs on because it's 60 frigging degrees. What's interesting is I woke up, I don't know, an hour ago, and it was 60, but it is warming up pretty quickly. Right now it's 68. So, I mean, temperature is rising rapidly. It's going to be in the 70s, in another hour or two. Right now I think it's like 8 o'clock. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, it's 8 o'clock. Just turned 8 o'clock. So, I did something to the screen, right? No, I can't undo it. Whatever. As long as the video is working, we'll fuck it. Anyway, yeah, so I woke up at a little after 7 an hour ago, and it was cold, man. I mean, cold, 60 degrees. And I'm comfortable in that temperature, but I do wear a shirt at 60 degrees. All right, anyway, the 10th. Happiness is found in doing. What? Why there always got to be a loud motorcycle when I started reading this? Happiness is found in doing, not merely in possessing. Yeah, there you go. Amen. It's true. It's true. It's not true. Little Nicky, great movie. Sandler's a doofus, but some of his stuff is really funny. It's true. Money can't buy happiness. Most of us are motivated by aspirations of the lifestyle we desire for ourselves and our families, not by physical possessions, homes, vacations, automobiles, etc. When you recognize this fact, you'll know that you must constantly raise the bar to encourage yourself to reach higher goals. Your goals should include the possessions that you desire, but as former Apple Computer chairman and CEO John Sculley said, success is a journey, not a destination. Make sure you enjoy the trip. Right. So I was working my balls off, literally. I have no balls left. I worked them off in America, trying to get to retirement age. And my goal was 20 houses. I wanted 20 rental properties to kick off enough income that I could, number one, travel the country in an RV. Number two, buy a boat, a catamaran, and sail around the world as long as I wanted to. And then when I was done sailing around the world, and that could have been, 5 months, it could have been 5 years. It probably would have been closer to 5 years or more. Just when I was done, I was done. And I'm an old fart, and I've had 2 heart attacks, so who knows? At any time along the way, I could have just croaked too, but I didn't plan on croaking. I planned on traveling America in an RV, seeing parts of the country I hadn't seen yet, and then traveling the world, seeing parts of the world I have seen, but was in and out, not really getting to check it out and hang out as long as I wanted. And then sell the catamaran and buy a working vineyard in Italy and do agrotourism, right? So that was the plan, and that took 20 houses by my reckoning. That was enough cushion with some vacancies and crap like that. And 6 of them were Airbnbs, because with Airbnb you made double the money. So as I started doing Airbnbs, they got down to 10, and I was like, oh, I could leave quicker. Cool, I could retire faster and start my dream with these Airbnbs, because literally they kick off, they gross 3 times as much as a normal rental. If you get $1,000 or $1,200 for a rental, you'll gross $3,000 to $3,600 on an Airbnb. However, before you run out and start buying up Airbnbs, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of management. If you pay one of the management companies, it doesn't work. You really need a hands-on guy. You need a local person who's willing to go out and manage the property if you're not. And if you're moving to Thailand, say, you can't do it. You cannot remotely manage an Airbnb. The companies aren't any good. It's all about the hands-on touch. My friend Melissa Stewart, she's doing great. She got going through the Airbnb through me, and she lives on the property. And she's a super host, right? Where she's like the top rated host because she greets the people. She's there if they have any questions. They still want that. People want Airbnb instead of a hotel, but they still want hotel service. So that's what I discovered in owning 6 Airbnbs and not providing hotel service is that's what people want. They want hotel service. So Melissa gives that to them. I mean, she's there. She's the little person standing pretty much 24 hours a day at the front desk of the hotel. That's what people want. They don't say that. I haven't seen that written anywhere or talked about, but that's my experience with Airbnb. So yeah, you net double the money after expenses. Because don't forget, when I said you triple your gross, well, that's great. But now, as opposed to a regular rental, you're paying for internet, you're paying for cable TV or satellite or streaming service or whatever. You're paying for the entertainment. You're paying for electricity. And they, believe me, you need one of those. God, I don't even remember the name of it now, but it's an automatic nest. You need a nest. I had those in 2 of my Airbnbs, and I bought another one before I decided to move here and sell everything. Because with the Nest, you can remotely log in through your smartphone and turn off the thermostat when they leave. The guests will leave it on 60, right, on the AC. Plastic, because they're not paying for it. It's just, once again, human nature. Human beings aren't very good people, as you saw in this past election. So they'll take advantage. They leave the TV on, leave the lights on, and all that. If I had it to do over again, my hotel here, my very modest guest house hotel, has a key card system with a plastic little container, and the key to the unit is on the plastic container. So when they come into the room or house, and you put the key card in, and all the lights and everything comes on. So they're what's the word I'm looking for? They're not going to be happy that the AC is not blasting when they come in, but in a normal house, it will come up in 20 minutes, half an hour. But that stops them from leaving all the crap on when they're not actually in the house. So I would have done that had I but thought of it back then. With what I've learned now with the hotel. So that's a brilliant way to do it. When they're not there, they're not using electricity. Everybody accepts it with a hotel. They would accept it with an Airbnb too. But the Nest is huge. You remotely control and you keep the bills down. But even with all that, with a Ring doorbell, so you can see, make sure they're not having parties and trash in your place. With the Nest, nice 125cc bike. It makes it sound like a 500cc, like a Harley went by, right, or a Kawasaki. It's a 125cc scooter. No, I won't go there. I've resisted several times going there with the Thai men and their 110cc Scoopy, Honda Scoopy. I'm a badass. I'm a big ass biker. I have a 110cc Scoopy. Anyway, the Nest and all that. Even with all that, you lose about a third. If you're grossing $3,000, it's going to cost you $1,000 and all that stuff. And then if you furnish it, you got replaceables, toilet paper, paper towel, shampoo. Like a high-end hotel. You got to provide just like a high-end hotel does. You go to a shitty hotel, there's no shampoo, conditioner, or some of them don't even have soap. Toothbrushes, earbuds, but we put all that shit. I used to go to the dollar store and literally spend $100. I'd buy 100 items at the dollar store. Nail clippers, shower caps, feminine products. I mean, the more crap that you had in that place, the better the ratings you got. It was that simple. So for $100, you give them everything they could possibly use. So that was Airbnb. A lot of people want to learn about it. A lot of people wanted to do it. And like for me, it was just getting to my goal quicker. It was just a way to speed up. I didn't need to own 20 units anymore. I could only own 10. Then I discovered Thailand, and it's like all the stuff I talk about on my channel. I routinely eat for 30 baht or 40 baht. I did it yesterday. I was out with my buddy Tim from Chicago. He's been helping me with some stuff around here, putting in some outlets and shit. And we went and had khao soi, which is a chicken noodle curry soup, northern Thai soup I love. And it was 40 baht right up here in Pai in a really nice restaurant, 2 levels up, nice scenic view of the mountains. He lives a little bit out of town, so for 4,000 baht, 120 bucks, he has a really nice spread. He has like his place is bigger than what I have here. So I'm in town and I'm above the restaurant, but I don't have a lot of room. This is the smallest place I've lived in since I've been in my 20s. And he's got a house, like a 2-story house, 3 or 4 beds and all that. And he's single guy for 120 bucks a month. I mean, it's insane how cheap it is here. So that cost of living allowed me to retire quicker. And in fact, I've sold all my Airbnbs. Once again, you cannot manage them unless you're there on site. And to be honest, I didn't really do a great job of managing because I was flipping houses and running a brokerage. So that was my priority, and that took most of my time and my attention. You really need to be on. So I sold all of them, and I have 1 rental left, which is a Section 8, the government HUD. If the Biden thing sticks, which I know all my liberal friends are partying in the street and popping champagne, and they still think Trump's a jerk off. Nothing's changed, and they're calling for unity now, which is pretty strange. Not my 4 friends, because they're not assholes. They're good. They're liberal people, but they're good people. But a lot of liberals were very vocal against the deplorables and racist and everything else that the Trump MAGA whatever was called. All I'll say about that is you have to be very careful anytime you label a group of people anything, because you're wrong. I'll tell you right now, you're wrong anytime you say any group of people is anything. So here you got liberals who are claiming that the red hat wearing MAGA are racist, right? And what you're doing by calling a group of people something, knowing that there's people in that group that's just not true for, because it's a group of people, it can't be. That in itself is what you're railing against, is what you're accusing the other side of. How you can't see that, I don't understand. Are there some racists who wear red hats? Of course there are, but that doesn't make all of them. 70 million friggin' people voted for that dude, allegedly. So they're not all racist, I promise you that. So that's stupid, that's ignorant, that's everything that you accuse them of being. Do you understand that? No, because you're too emotional, right? So I'm being logical, but anybody who calls a group of people anything, you're wrong. You're just flat out wrong. It's not logical, it's not fact, but there's not a logic in America right now. It's 2 little kids fighting, you hurt my feelings, no, you hurt my feelings, you touched me, no, you touched me. It's like fucking children. I'm glad I'm here. That's all I can say, again, is I'm glad I'm here and not there, because it's such bullshit. But anyway, we'll see what happens with the government housing. I have my concerns about that. I have concerns about taxing and all that. I'm very glad I'm down to just 1, because they would have taxed the income on the Airbnbs, and once again I got rid of them because I couldn't manage them. But with the 1 I have left now, I'm not sure I want anything left in America at this point because of the taxation situation. I talked the other day about somebody's got to pay for it. Well, that would be me. With my 1 little rental, they're going to want the money to give to people. So they say, vote for me, because they want money, they want power. All the political, they live in giant frigging houses. That's paid for by you and me, and they want to keep that. They want the power, they want the money, so they promise you things. Oh, we'll give you free health care. We'll forgive student loans. We'll do this. We'll do that. We give. Well, they give with our money. You understand that, right? It's like a bank giving you interest. You deposit money in the bank, you're giving the bank your money, and then they're like, oh, we'll be so kind and gracious, we'll give you a 0.5% back. Well, thank you. And then they're lending it out at 4%, 5%, whatever they can get. So bank's not really giving you interest. They're paying you a small amount of money to borrow your money and then lending it out to you and people like you at a higher rate. Politicians are just like banks. They're taking your money and then giving it out to people, you and other people not willing to work, other people who don't have rentals, who didn't bust their ass and buy a rental property, right? So that's why the whole thing doesn't work. It's a fucking joke. Very smart people are too stupid to see that, and it's going to be a fucking disaster if that stands. But they're all very confident. The Democrats are very confident they won. So we'll see. We'll see. I know there's some lawsuits pending, and I had firsthand knowledge of a situation here in Thailand. There's a lady I've talked about before, Gypsy Lily, and she is Gypsy. I mean, she's got the scarf. She's very Stevie Nicks 70s, and she's a diehard MAGA, which does not fit here in little hippie tie-dye pie Thailand. And she registered to vote 6 months ago, Republican. She's a diehard Trump. She knew she was going to vote Trump the whole way. And she registered, she did all the paperwork, she was up there in the system, and they said pending for 6 months. 2 days before the election, they said, provide us a valid driver's license from the state that you lived in when you were in the United States, 15 years ago. Because she was registered Republican. They wouldn't let her vote. They suppressed her vote. So I have firsthand knowledge of it, here. And what my Democrat friends are trying to tell me is that's an isolated incident, right? Like the Michigan glitch was found with the software that literally switched Biden votes to Trump. That's just a little, it's just a small sampling. It's nothing to see here. Move along, nothing to see here. Yeah, I'm sure that was an isolated incident. I'm sure that software that was used in 47 counties in Michigan only affected that one small county. Not to mention it was used in 30 states. There are 47 counties in Michigan, 30 states, but nothing to see here. We won! Woohoo! Pop the champagne! So, I did a video, I think on the 4th or the 5th, saying, yeah, I believe that there was cheating involved. But I don't think anything will happen because America is very lazy, America is very complacent, America is too busy watching game shows to, really protest or do anything like that. And I'm talking about the middle, the moderates, because they have no stake in the game. They're not pro-Trump, they're not anti-Trump. The moderates really don't give a shit about Trump. I don't care about Trump. I feel nothing for the man. I don't hate him, I don't want to kill him like a lot of liberals do, including my sister. She said she would shoot him given the chance. And I don't love him. I don't have a red hat. I have red pajamas on because it's for Georgia Bulldogs. Oh, Georgia Bulldogs. But no, I don't care about the guy either way. And there's, 100 million people like me, right? We're the majority. You see the MAGA talk about the silent majority. The silent majority are the motherfuckers who don't vote because they're disgusted with the whole goddamn system, right? That's the silent majority. So I don't hate Trump, I don't love him, and I think Biden's a pedophile, but I don't hate him. I just don't think he's fit for office. I think he can't form complete sentences, he mumbles, he stumbles, all the stuff the left ignores because they hate Trump so much, right? The left is hate-driven, they hate Trump so much they're unified. America gets unified when we have a common enemy like 9/11, right? They hated the Arabs and the Taliban, and the politicians were able to focus the people's hate on them. And that's when we're unified. Yeah, we're Republicans, we're Democrats, we're black, we're white, but we all hate the Taliban, right? Remember 9/11? The country was unified, right? So what the Democrats have done was got together a group of very diverse people, and they all hate Trump. They had a common goal. And that's how they got as many votes as they did. But like I said, right now, ultimately the Supreme Court will decide if it was legit because there's some testimonies, there's some evidence of ballots being thrown away, ballots being backdated, ballots, showing up at 4 a.m. in a car, all for one candidate. That's statistically impossible, guys. I don't care if you're a Democrat or left or whatever. If 138,000 ballots had shown up for Trump, you'd be losing your fucking minds right now. Be honest with yourself. But because it showed up for Biden, you're like, oh, nothing. Stop whining. It's Trump's a whiner. Trump's a baby. His followers are babies. No, they're not babies. They know that 138,000 ballots showing up in the middle of fucking night, 3 a.m. is bullshit. And you know it too. You just won't admit it because you're happy you won. We'll see what happens. So that's it for today. 60 degrees. Got my really cool elephant shirt on. I like this shirt. I'm going to wear it more and more. It's comfortable. 100% cotton. And that's it from Pai, Thailand. I, like the rest of the world, am sitting and watching. Unfortunately, and once again, the people who won, the Democrats, don't give a shit about this either, but our country looks like assholes right now. We've always been, the superior attitude in regards to third world countries, banana republics, we called them back in the day, and their elections, which were a scam. Well, what the fuck is this? It's a scam. It's bullshit. It's crazy. They stopped counting the night of the why. Why did you stop counting? Oh, nobody can answer that. Stop asking questions. Just shut up and sit down. Stop asking why they couldn't count them that night. Well, it's bullshit. It's a banana republic. It's third world. It's an embarrassment. I see a lot of posts about how world leaders were embarrassed by Trump or awkward moments at Trump. Where do I see that? Oh, the mainstream media. I guess they have a little bit of a vested interest, huh? Not really reporting the news, but spinning, putting their spin on it, which pisses me off because I want news. I want raw data. I want information. I don't want spin. I don't care what CBS's opinion of a news item is. I just want the news item. And I've lost all faith in media's ability or desire to do that, to provide that information raw anymore. It's bullshit. It's all bullshit. So I'm sitting here watching, laughing at my former country that I love in some respects, but served for 30 years because I was such a patriot. That word's overused, right? MAGA, the red hat army grab patriot, that's overused. Yeah, okay, maybe they do love their country too, but one man is not tied to loving your country. If your guy loses, you should still love your country, and apparently they don't, so that's wrong too. There you go. I criticize the Republicans. You all happy? About time, right? One for your team, your side. Ford versus Chevy. Ford F-150, baby. Yeah, my daddy hated Chevys. I piss on Chevy. Ford versus Chevy. You fucking ridiculous. You guys don't even see it. You don't even see how stupid the whole fucking thing is. Anyway, goodbye from Thai. Nice, 68 degrees. It's probably warmer now. It's probably 70, maybe 71. It feels warmer. Sun's been out for a while. I'm staring at the mountains. Life is good. I'm sorry you all are living in a shithole. It's going to get worse over the next 4 years if things stand as they are. Certainly you'll be paying more taxes. That's a fact. If you can't see that, you're stupider than I thought you were, because it's coming. All the free shit has got to be paid for by somebody, guys. Just think for a minute. Take your emotions, put them aside, and use what God gave you. If the government's giving people free shit, who pays for it? And think about it. Think about it for a while. You'll understand soon enough. It's you. It's anybody who actually works and doesn't just sit back on their ass. So if you have any assets, if you have rental properties, I would think about liquidating. I'm thinking about liquidating my one rental I left because I think the government's going to tax it to death and severely, reduce my income from it. They need the money from somewhere, and they don't care that I worked my ass off for 4 years to buy that property. They don't give a shit. We need money. Your government needs money. Give us money. Fuck you. I'm not going to give you shit. If you want money, you work for it like I did. Getting elected doesn't give you the right to get money. Fuck you. So, later, guys. Love you. Talk to you later.